The other remarkable thing about the betrayal is how quickly it happened. Like, it wasn't hard to find any of the tape of Trump on all of these Manosphere podcasts, and it was even easier to find them sort of clapping back. This is podcaster Dave Smith, who endorsed Donald Trump's presidential campaign in 2024.
I hope the Republicans lose the midterms this year. They need to. For the country, they need to be destroyed, and no one from this administration can be supported in 28. J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Tulsi Gabbard. She hasn't resigned yet. Tulsi Gabbard. Dude, the no war with Iran shirts that she was selling. How much money you make off those shirts, Tulsi? How can you not return that money?
Well, and I'll find the picture and show it to you. They sold no war with, oh, there it is. No war with Iran t-shirts. And that is, at Tulsi Gabbard, Gabbard. Yep, that's her.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Batuto Jetta here, and the fragile MAGA ego is cracking under the pressure and melting down like a snowball rolling down the highway to hell. And all these so-called alpha males in the party have their tails tucked between their legs because they feel betrayed, belittled, and bamboozled by a con man who told them he was going to lower grocery prices and keep us out of World War III.
The White House is responding to criticism from some of the president's vocal supporters after they questioned the rationale for the war against Iran, among them Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly. Also, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has recently broken with the president on a number of issues. And then there's Matt Walsh, who posted this to social media. Quote, "So far, we've heard that although we killed the whole Iranian regime, this war was not a regime change war. And although we obliterated their nuclear program, we had to do this because of their nuclear program. And although Iran was not planning any attacks on the U.S., they also might have been depending on who you ask. And although we are not fighting this war to free the Iranian people, they are now free, or might be, depending on who seizes power. And we have no idea who that will be. The messaging on this thing is, to put it mildly, confused."
But here we are, bombs dropping and on the verge of an apocalypse without a clear plan for what's next or an off-ramp for all of this insanity.
This is Israel's war. This is not the United States' war.
Being a conservative or being a Trump supporter or being part of MAGA does not mean you have to accept another Middle East war.
It is absolutely America last. It's the same we've seen. What is happening to the man that I supported, you supported, the man that denounced what happened in Iraq?
And it's causing a full-blown civil war within the MAGA base. And it's not just because of these broken no forever wars promises or the Epstein files cover up, smoke and mirror distractions. Nope, it seems that MAGA has stopped believing in itself. Hell, they are burning their red hats, their Tulsi Gabbard no war with Iran t-shirts, and cheering on Hillary Clinton as she rips Lauren Boebert a new one. The unexpected voices that are coming out against Trump are rocking MAGA like a hurricane. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Matt Walsh. The whole MAGA house of cards is in the process of collapse because their do as I say, not as I do role models have outright betrayed them, leaving the cult feeling like they've been living a lie and questioning their own life choices and their futures.
What I do know is most Americans, and it's being proved in polling that's coming out, most Americans are completely against this war because, like you said, the president has made no case for it.
Their enthusiasm has fallen through the floor faster than Trump's approval rating, and they are not happy about the idea of sending their sons and daughters to fight in a regime change war that are dreamt up by rich old white men whose own kids get to watch from the sidelines enjoying their privilege while poor kids get shot at. Trump's decision to go along with Benjamin Netanyahu's bucket list agenda against Iran without congressional approval is sticking in their collective craw. And no amount of Trump Kool-Aid or Pete Hegseth spin is going to wash it down. And to add insult to injury, the very thing that rallied them together and united them, protecting children and going after the pedophiles, well, that whole thing has been derailed thanks to Pam Bondi. And MAGA is waking up to the fact that Donald Trump started World War III to keep the Epstein files buried and everyone distracted away from his crimes against children. I mean, look at the situation we're suddenly in. We've gone along with Netanyahu's wish list for the Middle East without coordinating the evacuation of Americans in the region. We killed the Ayatollah and blew up a school. If there was any reason for retaliation, that's it. And Trump has been brazened about it. He told us to expect casualties, that he's okay sending your kids to sacrifice for his grift. It's no wonder we've been seeing him compared to Lord Farquaad on social media and hearing about South Park calling for Barron to be drafted. Trump pretty much broadcast to the world what he was going to do, and he expected everyone to go along with it. But within just a couple of days, everyone is realizing that he has no strategy or exit plan. Americans are dead, and he's telling us that there will be more who die in this illegal, unjustified war. It's all blowing up in his face, and yet he doesn't seem to care. Ever wonder why? Have you seen the rash on his neck, which some folks are saying is cancerous, while others are saying it's from an IV to the jugular? Donald Trump is rotting from the inside out, and there's been conjecture that his health is failing. So in the end, he doesn't care about repercussions unless they happen right now. In the meantime, he and his administration are barreling us all into the tribulation while trying to sell it as God's plan. The world is on edge and the country is not on board with his careless actions. While many of the bots online will try to frame this as not a war, we all know it is. We can see that Donald Trump is trying to derail the midterm elections, just like he talked about in the video after video that we are seeing resurface online. He is doing everything he can to keep his dirty little secrets on Epstein Island hidden, and that's why he's doing all of this. And if Iran releases damning information on Trump, so be it. Hell, we need world leaders to release the information and expose him for being a kingpin in Epstein's child trafficking ring. It is a shame that our military has allowed Donald Trump to drag us into friggin' World War III. It is a shame that our military does not have the friggin' backbone to friggin' stand against a stinking drunk by the name of Pete Hegseth that doesn't do jack shit except try to friggin' act like he's all that and a bag of chips. And in fact, he is absolutely the worst friggin' Secretary of Defense we have had in this country's history. An absolute buffoon who's going to be the reason why we could lose thousands upon thousands of troops now. And that's why you're starting to hear something that would have been unthinkable not very long ago. You're hearing voices from inside that same ecosystem saying things like, I hope the Republicans lose the midterms this year. They need to for the country. They need to be destroyed, and no one from this administration can be supported in 2028. They're naming names, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Tulsi Gabbard, and asking the same question millions of Americans are starting to ask. How did the movement that claimed it would keep us out of wars end up cheering one on? Because even people who despise the Ayatollah can see what's happening here. It's perfectly fair to say the Iranian people deserve freedom. It's perfectly fair to say women in Iran deserve freedom. Nobody is shedding tears over the Ayatollah, but that doesn't mean you trust Trump and those who drag the United States into this mess to fix anything. And that's the point critics are making right now. These clowns don't know what they're doing. They are liars, they are incompetent, and they have no plan for what comes next. Democrats should not give them any political off-ramp that allows them to cover up that incompetence. If you are a Democrat, the position should be simple. We do not support war with Iran, and we do not support Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, and Pete Hegseth unilaterally dragging this country into a war without a plan, without making a compelling case to the American people, and without coming to Congress and letting the country debate and authorize it. Absolutely not. And our votes will reflect that sentiment, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.